Our speaker today is Todd Saylor. He is a hard-working CEO who is passionate about excellence and commitment. And he's committed to achieving any task and possesses a unique vision in his industry that rolls over into others. He's an accomplished, nationally renowned, and successful pioneer in his business niche, and he has been for over 20 years. He's transferred a highly competitive college athletics background into entrepreneurial life. This is really cool, guys. He's figured out how to do it. He came out of corporate into his own entrepreneurial space in 2003 and is kicking it. After graduating and all of the history, which I promised I would not read, what's really important, he works tirelessly, and I do mean that. He works tirelessly to expand, improve, and ensure that his businesses, here we go, here's a goal, guys, remain the most flexible, scalable, and technologically advanced companies in his industry. It's a pretty good goal. So, to share how he got to where he is and where he's going next, Mr. Todd Saylor.
Am I on, Al? Okay, so we're going to do this maybe a little different. What a nice introduction. I really appreciate that. Dave was originally supposed to introduce me, and he said, okay, come on and speak. We got to talk about all these things, and we're going to do this and do that, and I'll be there, and then he calls at the last minute, and he's in St. Pete, and he says, I got Jackie. No worries about Jackie. So I show up here. Jackie introduces herself out in the parking lot. I think she wanted to see what I looked like before she let me in the room. And so we went through that program, and we sat down, and I'm so confused. He said this was a young entrepreneurial society, and so I'm concerned about that a little bit. I'm 50. I'm 50, and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, these people got it going on, and I walk in here, and then I hear all these rules. I'm concerned about all the rules. Is there a test afterward? There's no test, I hope. And then she sits me down and she says, I'm a stress management person. And she takes my hand and she starts pressing on my hand. Dude, you gotta be loose. So I feel better already. So I want to let you know I'm stress-free right now. So what I did was I picked up 5 topics that I would throw out here, and we would do this in an interview format. And Jackie's going to throw some questions at me. And the 5 things I would like to talk about, but I know we won't have time, is I want to empower you. I want you to feel good about what you're doing and the decisions you're making in life. Because after all, aren't we wired differently? We're wired differently. And until we understand that we're different than most people, we can't be who we want to be. I think most of us are trapped in this understanding of entrepreneurial ideas that we're like everyone else. And so until we understand that John was not and is not like other people, he can't raise to the level of what he needs to do, because most people aren't thinking at the level we are, especially in our niche. That's the word she chose for me. So we're going to have to guess at what my niche is. So here's the 5 things that I really think I'm passionate most about. One topic is leadership that she's going to ask me about. We may not get through the whole morning with just leadership. Secondly is adversity. Third is perspective. Perspective is huge. Fourth is love. And last but not least is endurance. So before we get started this morning, we start bouncing some questions off. I want you guys to tell me, what is an entrepreneur? Because if we don't know what we are, we can't be what we want to be. So what is the definition of an entrepreneur? Right here.
Hold it. I'll run the microphone.
All right. She's in charge.
Yo.
Well, one of my roofers told me when I was in the construction business, he said, you know what an entrepreneur is? I'm an entrepreneur. I said, no, what's an entrepreneur? He says, well, it's somebody that nobody else will hire, so they went out and went into business for themselves.
He's right. We don't get along with everybody right away. Maybe so.
Someone who follows their dreams.
Someone who follows their dreams. Okay. And there's some wisdom behind this, because, Al, we were on the radio the other day, weren't we? And the first thing Dave did after he said hello was he picked a fight with me, didn't he? He picked a fight with me, and he said, what do you think an entrepreneur is? I said, well, and then he proceeded to tell me what an entrepreneur was, and so I had to go along with it, right, Al? All right, anybody else? What's an entrepreneur?
Independent thinker.
Ooh, independent thinker. So far, so good.
A blaze trail person.
A trailblazer.
Yes.
I like that. I'll take as many as we got because I'm learning.
Someone who can think outside of the box no matter what is in front of them.
Right. Totally agree. Any more? This one right here. He's got one. Okay.
A risk taker.
A risk taker. Anybody else? Over here. I like this guy. Hey, by the way, you have got great hair.
Thank you.
I love it, man.
See, Gary? Ideally, it's somebody who, a couple of things, they are comfortable with control. They want to follow their dreams, and they want to engage their passion.
So would you say that you're following that definition?
I'm not working right now, so amen. But no,
You're killing me.
I'm on the path.
You're on the path.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your dream?
What is my dream? My dream is to use my God-given talents to better the world, better people. It sounds corny, trite.
Well, you know what? If you
Yeah.
can't say it, you can't do it.
No.
Okay, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay, any other comments? Because I think it's important. I think it's important that everybody in here understands that you're special, that you're wired differently. When you get up in the morning, you think different than most people in this world. And the first thing you have to admit to yourself is that you're different and that you're going to treat yourself different because you're in charge of your future and your destiny, and the people that you bring along with you are going to help you realize those things, and you're going to help them realize their dreams too. So an entrepreneur is all the things that everybody said in here. But the thing I want you to take, if you don't get anything from me this morning, what's your name? Joshua, if you don't get anything from me this morning or afternoon, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to say, honey, are you married? Okay. If you had a wife, you would say, honey, or a girlfriend. I'm wired differently. I don't go to corporate America. I don't go punch in a time clock. I wasn't made that way. And so once we realize that, then we can go on to the next step. What the next step is, you can't execute a plan if you don't have one. Who said that? Damn right. Yes, it's exactly right. You can't execute a plan if you don't have one. Have you ever accomplished something tremendous without having a plan? What's your name? John.
Absolutely not. You got to have a plan.
I mean, and if you had, it was a Powerball ticket more than likely. But most entrepreneurs don't buy Powerball tickets. See, I know that about you people. We are counting on ourselves. You can't execute a plan if you don't have one. All right? So leadership. I want to talk a little bit more about leadership. When you get up in the morning, you say to yourself, oh, I wonder what the world's going to bring to me today. I think some of us are in that position. I think some of us are in that position. More than likely, we don't want to be in that position, but we have to get focused. Leadership. So if we have a plan and we plan on executing it, we've got to go for it. The next thing I would tell you about a plan or a dream is do one thing great. So give me some ideas. I met a nice man back here. This is your first time here, so I feel perfectly comfortable picking on you. Are you going to come back? Okay, yeah, I love your barber. So you're in real estate, correct? Jackie, I'm supposed to be back here, right? I don't want Jackie mad at me. Tell me what you do.
Other than the obvious selling houses, also in with my wife through the investment end, and I own a remodeling company. So we try to handle all the aspects of everything that has to do with real estate, as far as getting it, for an investor's point of view, getting it remodeled, getting it ready to market, and get it sold.
Okay, so you've got a couple different things that you're doing: auctioneer, real estate. You said you flip houses too?
The remodel side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before you could really propel into any of these other ventures, you did one thing great. You became maybe a realtor, maybe an auctioneer. What did you do first?
First was a realtor.
Okay. So you had some success in real estate.
Yes.
And so you were an entrepreneur in that fashion that you reached out and let me ask you a question. That's the piece. Is the act of being a realtor your entrepreneurial dream, or is the vision of what you're trying to accomplish from the plan that you want to execute, is that your entrepreneurial side?
Probably the vision.
Okay. Is that good? Does someone get that? That's the piece. It just hits me, when we sit here and we think about this as human beings and leaders, is entrepreneurs are wired differently. His job was real estate. His entrepreneurial side is, how do I make something more out of it? How do I do something better than everyone else? How do I put a little bit different spin on it that makes me different? Because none of us can really break away from the pack until we have that aha moment that says, I'm going there, I'm going there, I'm going there, I'm going there. Did I say it? I'm going there. I got a few bumps. But he did one thing great, which catapulted him to his vision. My success story, if you will, is always in motion. I became the most successful salesperson in the planet. Just ask me. Right? Just ask me. Ask me if I was. Were you the most successful man in the planet?
Were you the most successful man on the planet?
Yes, sir, I was. Thank you for asking that question. I was really good at sales, and I found out that I could sell. I didn't start out in sales, but I found out that I had the gift of persuasion. So let's talk about that for a second. Persuasion is a gift. It's an entrepreneurial gift. But the harnessing of persuasion is about 2 M's. How many of you in here realize you have the gift of persuasion? You have to be brave about it. It's not a bad thing. Every one of you, just by getting up this morning, has the gift of persuasion. So let me challenge you this. When you have the gift of persuasion and you use it for good, it's called motivation. If you have the gift of persuasion and you use it for bad, I don't know you, I don't think you're using it for bad, it's called what? Dude, you are smart. Manipulation. Those are the 2 M's. And so while we're just talking about being wired differently, we have to harness our own gifts. We have to realize again that we're wired differently. We have to realize again that we get up differently. We have to realize again that we're just different type of people, and it's all good. And we have this gift of persuasion, and we're right down the middle, but all of a sudden we have a choice. Am I going to use my gift to motivate, or am I going to use my gift to manipulate?